speaking of bad rubbish.
Speaking of rubbish, Justin Trudeau, your best friend, he's on the way out. What's going on?
He's still on the way out. The only question is how fast. The news of the week was Justin Trudeau resigned as prime minister, and it's a new era. People were rejoicing. And, you know, then as it sinks in and you sort of listen to it, you say, okay, well, he's announced his intention to resign. Has he actually resigned? Will it make a difference if he does resign? Is he just buying more time for the Liberals to try to not necessarily save face, but delay the elections in as much as possible? If we can play his original statement where you listen to it and that sniveling snot of a prime minister is a stain on... I'm looking at his face right now. I want to vomit. I should call him Pig Vomit because he looks like a pig and it makes me want to vomit. That's from Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. Good.
But you know, listen to his statement and then you'll say, is it a definitive resignation? Because there's a bit of a twist. For me, it's good enough, but play it and look at this sniveling snot.
Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future.
He's trying to squeeze out tears
throughout the course of my career. Any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement.
Beta.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today.
He's trying to cry. 2 kids.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
I intend to resign. After elections, robust national elections, and they name... So it's a very conditional sort of resignation. And, you know, I was arguing at one point, look, it's as good as it's going to get. You don't just really up and leave, although there is a mechanism. I have since been informed that he could resign and fade off into the woods, and then the Liberal caucus could appoint an interim leader. Then they would hold their convention to see who gets to be the elected leader. But the bottom line, he's out, and it's like good riddance to bad rubbish. He's prorogued Parliament, so they've ended the session until March 24th. So for the next 3 months, nothing happens, except they're going to have their national leadership race to see who replaces Justin Trudeau. Then they're going to come back and, in theory, then call an election once they have a replacement for Trudeau because they don't want to run now with Trudeau as the leader.
Nothing happens for nothing.
Nothing like
healthcare.
No, it continues to run. I actually wanted to clarify, like, what the system runs, but all pending bills, committees,
so bills
investigations
that have nothing to do with this.
Well, no, any pending bill is now dead, and when the new session reconvenes, they can pick up from where they want.
So how about the people that depend on the bills?
Well, it happens all the time, and sometimes they prorogue Parliament specifically if they can't get certain bills passed, and it looks too ugly. They want to end the session, start a new session, and like re-strategize.
Go.
So the bottom line, he's announced his intention to resign after they have a replacement that they get after a national robust convention. I just want to play the meme because it's a meme, people. It's not real.
It's a meme, but what was the original? Yo, Jake, does anybody know? Yeah, but I'm saying, what was the original? Like, this is.
I think it's just a soccer game.
It's a soccer game. Okay. But I love that they keep doing this. This is one of my. Yeah, play this.
This one's well done.
Yeah.
Decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader.
And look, the detail on the phones in the background on the upper level. You see, like they really went with it.
Oh wow.
Brilliant. It's a meme, people, so don't share this.
Yeah, that's
as though it's real. So people were saying, okay, well, he hasn't really resigned because he's still technically the leader of the party until they have a replacement. He's just buying time. All of this is true. And my answer is that you can't really have much more of a definitive resignation other than literally leaving now, forcing the caucus to appoint an interim leader, and then having your leadership contest, which is comes to the same. But people were saying, Viva, this is a trick, because his dad did the same thing. Pull this up. You can all ask Grok yourself. Again, you don't know everything. You can't know everything. But you then learn the questions to ask, or at least get information from your aggregate network of subscribers and knowledge. Trudeau's father did, in fact, announce that he was going to resign as the leader of the Liberal Party back in '79, following the leader's loss to Joe Clark's progressive conservative government. Trudeau says, I'm going to leave as the leader of the party. Never does, because the Clark government falls, the minority government.
Yeah.
And then he runs for the Liberals and wins. I think it was a majority government at the time. So it's an interesting theory. Wow. People say, like, there's a little bit of rhyming to history. There are massive material differences in that Trudeau now is the minority government. He's detested by everybody. They need him out because it's the only way they can minimize their losses in the next election, which is going to occur, give or take, by September, October. The reason why they had to delay this, and it's all part of a scheme among these scoundrels, is that Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, you know,
That's the opposition.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that's the technically opposition, but they've been propping up the Liberal government for the last 2 years with the supply and confidence agreement. He needed to secure his federal pension, and his federal pension matured in, give or take, February 2025. So he's been propping up the Liberal government for the last 2 years. Now he says, okay, we're ending our supply and confidence agreement, but we're not triggering a new election, because if the election occurs before his federal pension matures, he doesn't get his federal pension because he's getting booted out of office next as well.
oh, what
So-
a scumbag.
Absolute scumbag. The bottom line, though, ding dong, the witch is dead. Trudeau has announced his intention to resign. It's basically he's a lame duck, feckless leader of a party until they replace him. But the replacement, it might be worse, if not no better, because the two people looking to take the lead are Mark Carney, who is a WEF stooge. You can go Google his name in
God,
WEF.
great.
Oh, he's the BIS guy, right?
Yeah,
the
big banking,
National
bank.
Settlement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
And
yikes.
Chrystia Freeland, who prioritizes Ukraine over Canada, who's on the board of trustees of the WEF. Google it, people. The former minister of finance who resigned, which sort of led to this whole thing, is on the board of trustees of the WEF. She's looking. I said when she resigned that she was doing it to save her own ass because she's going to run for the leadership. So those two might be the replacements. So
Oh my
it's a machine. It's not an individual, which is what I'm coming
when
to
do you
grips
guys-
with.
Didn't ask
when-
that.
yeah.
Was Canada this much of a disaster before Trudeau, or was it did it become much more of a
I
disaster?
couldn't answer the question because I wasn't politically aware. I mean, shame on me, voted for Trudeau in 2015.
You son of a.
I did it. I did. I was in westbound
problem.
NDG, but
You're part of the problem.
no. But the problem was then. Yeah, okay. I know nothing. I don't even know what I don't know. You vote liberal because you think it makes you liberal. You vote Democrat because you think it makes you a Democrat. Now you know liberals are the fascists.
Yeah, and here's my question, because I know we have to go on to Brandon's. How the voting process, is it secure? Is it? Do
It
they
is,
question them like how shitty ours is with mail-in ballots and
No,
the people that are running?
ours, at least last federal election, because they're starting to use Dominion machines at the provincial level.
Great.
Federal was 2 pieces of ID, pencil and paper, good verification. You have to show ID. They cross your name off. And I mean, I don't question that, because the fraud or the election fortification in Canada doesn't come from the ballot. It comes from state-controlled media that cuts out the opposition from any airtime. When I ran in 2021, I had to beg for interviews with the CBC, the state broadcaster. Then I had to beg them to air the interview because it wasn't as embarrassing as they thought it was going to be. They didn't want to air it after they did it live. I was like, put that on the
put it
internet
out
so I
there.
can share it. Took me 4 days. They put it up on the internet the Sunday before the election on the Tuesday.
And this is state-run media.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funded
Oh,
to the
wow.
tune of
Forget
$1
that.
point some odd billion
Last
a year.
question. When is the next chance you guys have to have an actual change of,
By law, it's going to occur 4 years from the last election if it doesn't get triggered earlier. So September, October 2025 is the next election by law, because it's every 4 years legislatively. You could have a non-confidence motion passed, which says we no longer trust the government, trigger an election now. That could have been done 2 years ago, except scumbag McGee Jagmeet Singh said no. And when it comes, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party, I believe, will take a massive majority. I hope that PPC, People's Party of Canada,
Man,
the party for which I ran.
Canadian democracy is like,
go.
it's like playing Warhammer 40K. It's so
Gangster.
many rolls. It gets triggered if you do this. You roll a dice.
It's a parliamentary system for
What
good
is
and for
this?
bad.
Yeah.
Oh
Well-
my God.
Well, guess what? I'm happy that he's gone, because no one that I've ever talked to from Canada likes that guy, and they're all happy. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.